Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Well, you're
testing.
loud, so. Right?
What?
In a good way.
Okay.
You're loud enough.
I am loud. I'm a loud person.
This is the inaugural podcast.
It's the official.
Yeah, Ryan and Michele, Into the Light.
Into the Light.
Yeah, we've done this before. We've had conversations before, but this is, they're watching us now.
This is it. Well, and the funny part is, you know, when we started talking about this all in the beginning,
Right.
It was two peas in a podcast, which unfortunately somebody as smart as me came up with it before me.
Right.
But, and then the Into the Light, the idea was I was going to bring you into the light.
Is that what it was? I thought it was a mutual Into the Light.
So
yeah.
if you look at our graphic, it's me being sucked
That's
into
right,
the light.
right. But I'm taking note. If you look closely, I'm investigating. That's kind of what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk, investigate, shed light on subjects.
Yeah.
It's gonna get conspiratorial too, and a sponsor, by the way.
Conspiracy Coffee.
Shout out to
Mansfield,
Conspiracy Coffee, yeah, and Bakery.
It is. Oh, and their baked goods are really
and conspiracies. We're gonna bring in the owner, right?
We
Can
are.
you tell me you seen a UFO?
Yeah, he did.
We're going to talk about that. I actually have a story. I keep meaning to tell you, but I want to tell it in context. And it seems like if Thad, the owner of Conspiracy Coffee, is coming in.
So you're not going to talk about it this
well,
time?
if he has a... You want me to tell you about it now?
Well, kind of.
All right.
And then we could kind of roll it off of him when we go to do it the next time.
Let me bring up something on my phone.
You've been
then.
sucked up into the air by aliens. They've taken over your brain.
I don't remember it, though. And I've never seen a UFO. I've seen weird things in the sky. You ever look at the sky and you can see tiny little dots, like maybe satellites, or have you ever seen?
I had a moment. So I had a moment one time that I looked up and I'm like, oh my God, are those like meteors or whatever? And I still to this day don't know if it was just like reflection off airplanes or whatever. Because my husband watches the like History Channel or whatever, and it has all the
Bigfoot shows, the UFO shows. Yeah, those are great. Except they always hook you. You think. You're like, they're not going to find
really
anything.
Weird and stupid. Like they show the crop things and all that. And I don't know how much I believe, but
before the commercial, they're always like, coming up next. Oh my God, what just happened? And you're like, I got to find out. Maybe they found Bigfoot.
Sucked in. So what are you doing over there?
Well, I'm bringing something up on my phone. I got to find it because this is the preface to the story.
Okay.
I got to find the picture though. I've got so many pictures on my phone.
While you're doing that, let's talk about the fact that is that your phone line?
That's my phone line.
Somebody's calling you.
Let's pick it up on the air.
Yeah, pick it up.
Let's see who it is.
See what happens.
Good afternoon, Woga.
Prank.
That was anticlimactic. Anyway,
that's so funny. So I got to talk about the chairs since we're on video.
Go ahead.
My big deal. I hate these chairs.
These chairs are awful.
They're awful. So now I'm. What is this called? I'm
straddling. Yeah.
This chair.
Maybe we can get a chair sponsor in the near future. There it is. I found it. It took me forever to find it. Okay. So here's the story.
Talk to me.
So I've never had a close encounter of the third kind. Never. It's not like a UFO flew over me. I wake up one morning and I go to get a shower and somehow I notice
there's a little green man in your shower with you.
No, that'd be awesome. There's a weird pattern on my back. Like I slept on something, but I slept in the bed and there was nothing in the bed. I didn't sleep anything. So this is what I woke up with. Let me show you this. And we'll show it on the screen.
Oh.
A weird pattern and it's all very uniform, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I see it and I'm like, well, that's weird, But then it's like, maybe I slept, maybe I don't know what that
maybe
would be.
Maybe there's something in the bed, a toy.
Right, exactly.
Right?
So, right. But I couldn't think of it, whatever. So I go about my day. Later that day, 12 hours later, when you get a little mark on you, it goes away. This is still on my back. And so then I go to my phone. I'm like, man, I got to look this up. Like, it doesn't look like a normal. Oh my
God, it came up as
it doesn't look like a normal rash or something because it's so uniform and strange.
It's not a rash.
So I go to Google and I type red dot pattern on back. Okay.
Oh my.
And so in the meantime, by the way, I've told a couple people about this and shown them, and they're like, "That's weird." What?
Yeah, that's
and I'm like,
"How big was it? Like, how big?
mean, it was like a big patch, right
that's
on my
big.
back. Yeah,
okay.
and so in the meantime, I've told a few people, shown them, they're like, "Oh, that's really strange. What is that?" And at one point, I go, "I don't know, maybe I got abducted," like joking around. So then later that day, I go and I search for red dot pattern on back. Go to Google Images. There it is.
There it is.
That is not my picture. That's other people's backs, right?
Yeah.
So they're all on websites called Above Top Secret. They're on Reddit in the UFO forums. They're on experimentaldreaming.com.
Yeah.
And it's like this strange phenomenon that people have experienced. And some of them are like, I got abducted and this happened and all this weird stuff.
So do you think you've been abducted?
I'm not even.
Do you remember anything?
Well,
do you feel weird?
The only weird thing is this. Like, I didn't get like anally probed or anything. I remember that I was really tired and I didn't just sleep. I blacked out. Like I passed out, woke up, and it was morning, like the heaviest sleep ever. And that was the only weird thing.
So that's a really funny story. So, and we're going to go into that story because I came home the other day and my husband was watching UFO abduction people, and there was a lady that was talking, and I of course sat down and I'm like, all right, I gotta hear what she has to say, because I'm on the fence about the
You're
UFOs.
open to it, right?
I'm open to it. I'm the spiritual girl. I believe in ghosts. I've seen spirit and ghosts.
That's going to be another episode, yeah.
So I personally have not seen a UFO, and I'm not saying that they're not there. If we can find planets that are 1 million billion light years away now, why can't they find us? Give me a break, right?
Especially if they're more technologically advanced or something.
Sure. And that's the big thing. They say, and they bring up a lot on that show, like pyramids. I mean, think about it. How back when there was no machinery or whatever, how'd they do it? How'd they do it? Who told them to do it? Why would they do it? How, why, where,
and when? Some of these, by the way, have you ever read that some of the pyramids are aligned with like astronomical things and stars
with
and
the
stuff?
Stars
so
and all
the
that.
technology is crazy.
So it's the same thing that I always say in radio. Anybody can be number one. So if you want to find something to match something, you can.
Sure.
So I always say to myself, well, are they just grasping at that or whatever? But the truth is, those blocks are thousands of pounds.
Yeah, tons and tons. Yeah.
In the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyways, this lady was talking about being abducted. And it was the same thing. She was asleep, heaviest sleep ever.
Yeah.
Woke up feeling like she had been raped.
Ooh, I didn't have that, just for the record.
Right, because you made it very clear that no parts were scoped out.
Unless I'm blocking it out subconsciously.
Well, she is female, and she is claiming that they took a baby out of her.
How convincing was her story?
Well, she said that she had severe bloody noses, and she's so crazed about it, and she seemed normal.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
Right.
Like, she lived in a nice house, and she now wears this hat because she believes that they control her mind.
She went full tinfoil hat, basically.
Like, there's some kind of this.
So does she have like continuing things where they control her and stuff?
She just feels that it scared her to the point where and it was like 30 years ago or something that this all happened.
Well, this didn't, this is weird because it was one of those things where I was joking about it, and then in retrospect, and after seeing those patterns are exact, and then I was like,
you are strange.
and I'm still a skeptic, but it made me think like, whoa, I don't know.
What is that? So how long did it stay in your back? Do you remember?
About 2 days, maybe.
2 days.
And these other people said it ranges from like a few hours to a few days.
That's very interesting.
Isn't that strange?
So we'll have to really talk to Thad about your story, because I only have just a small glimpse of what he was telling me. He was with, I think, his father and 2 uncles. And he was the youngest of the 4 of them, and all of them being of sound mind.
Yeah. All of them saw it.
They all saw it.
I can't wait to talk to them about it. And
I'm curious to see.
I think one of the great things about doing this show on the internet too is there's lots of people who may have insight. There may be people who know about the red dot thing. I would love to see it in the comments. A discussion about.
Maybe they grab somebody else besides you.
Yeah, maybe
I would fly down and poke you and.
Would you?
Kind of.
I kind of take that as a compliment.
You're a good-looking guy,
Thank you.
I'd be like, and you're very intelligent.
Thank you.
So
So I would be an interesting subject. That's a nice compliment. That may be the nicest thing you've said to me this week. You'd abduct me.
I would. The scary part is the whole, you really wonder, so like, how is it that so many people for so many years have seen what they consider alien shapes, forms, people, whatever. Oh, she had these aliens in her I think I'm wrong. I don't think she went to sleep at first. She seen them in her house first, and then that night.
That would freak me out.
Yeah.
I will say this. I used to think my argument used to be, because I like to critically think about something. Sometimes, you know, I mean, this is still somewhat of a conspiracy, but the fact I used to think UFOs are probably the government testing these high technology aircraft.
I believe the government's hiding.
Oh, absolutely,
so
they
much
are. Absolutely, they are. I mean, I saw on the History Channel. Speaking of the History Channel, they had an airplane in like 1950 that could take off straight up and down like a UFO, could like go thousands of miles per hour. But there's you know, there's so much more to it too. And then you think, like, let's say there are these civilizations that have technology to get this far through space. If they're that much more advanced than us, maybe they'd study us like we'd study a bug. Like we dissect it and look at it, or I don't know, maybe not rape it, but.
Well, so we're much more better looking than they are.
That's true. And if they're humanoid, maybe we're attractive.
And, you know, think about it. If you're going to go from planet to planet to planet, maybe they want to know what we have that would help them. I mean,
we ugly. Do that with other countries.
Aliens are ugly. They got big old bug eyes, and they're green or gray or whatever.
True.
I mean, you know, but there is people that believe that they live among us, like they've interbred with us,
right?
And they're trying to find a way to live among us secretly and take over the world. There's
even biblical stories about. Have you ever heard about the Nephilim?
No.
So supposedly this could relate to that.
My Bible? It's going to be in my Bible.
This is in the Bible. Yeah, you can look it up. Look up Nephilim later. But basically, they were like angels or angelic beings who interbred with humans. So basically, aliens that interbred with humans. And the Nephilim were this strong, handsome, big people. And if I'm not mistaken, Goliath from David and Goliath, the reason he was huge and strong is he was like part of that race of the Nephilim. You'll have to look it up. There's not a whole lot about it that I know of, but I know it's in the Bible, and it may relate to these other species
I think it was either you and me or somebody else that I was talking to do talk about beings other than on this earth. Yeah. And I mean, I say to myself, like I said, even though I haven't seen God.
Right.
I believe in him.
Right.
So, and we got all these satellites and all this crap up in space. We don't know. We do not know.
We don't know. And our satellites are really not that far into space.
Like we can't see them while we're sitting here.
No. Right. Well, that's a whole nother topic. Oh, man. Don't even get me started on space.
Oh, my gosh. I know, right?
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that. But if anyone has insight into the aliens, into the red dot patterns, abductions, we want to talk about it.
We do.
Want to hear about it in the comments and start some conversations. Then we're going to get Thad, Conspiracy Coffee. Boop, shout out. We're going to get him in here.
It's coming in.
We're going to go further into detail. Do you know when he's coming?
He's got some, he was going to try to come in today, but I have to leave. So maybe next Friday would be great. But he has some really cool stuff. And it's really cool if you go into his little restaurant and you eat. The paper that he lines his food baskets with are like old-fashioned newspaper clippings with conspiracy things on them.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's really cool.
Yeah.
And that's his big thing, you know, and that's how he came up with the name for the restaurant. And
so was it really the fact, is he really he's a conspiracy guy?
Yeah.
Good.
It's the whole science and everything around it. And
good.
Yeah. So I'm sure he's going to spend a lot of insight on all of that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of that stuff. We're going to get him in here, and
we got to talk about Bigfoot too.
About Bigfoot.
Our sister stations is called Bigfoot.
Yeah,
and there's been Bigfoot sightings where we live. So
yeah, in the mountains.
Up in the mountains.
We got to talk. We're going to talk about a lot of things. I this is a crazy one. I've been reading a lot about. Do you ever read about the flat Earth?
No.
There's a huge thing on the internet now where it's really picked up steam, and it's either, you know, most people make fun of it, but there's a group of people who still believe the Earth is flat. And it sounds silly until you read about it and you read why. And I've seen very convincing arguments. Now, you know, you got to take it with a grain of salt.
So what do you think? Like, our NASA sends down round pictures just to keep us engaged?
Well, part of the problem, I guess, is that all our information and all our pictures of space and everything come from NASA. And their first argument is, people distrust the government. So that the fact that they're the only ones giving you information, that's their starting point. That creates a weakness right there. And then NASA has problems. Like, we have to have a whole conversation about the moon landing. Oh, we do. That.
So I can go there with you.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that too.
I've caught some of that where the shadows.
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's basically if you start from the grounds of distrust already, and you've gotten all this other misinformation or supposed misinformation, it's not a huge leap to some of these crazy theories.
Well, if it's on the internet, it's real.
Yeah.
My favorite all-time commercial, that Bonjour.
Do
you know what commercial I'm talking about? Where he's Homelayer the Hedgehog, and he comes up to the girl, and she's pretty, and she's like, "Here's my French model boyfriend." And so if it's on the internet,
well, and I think the other side of that coin is that now that the internet exists, people have access to all this information that they didn't used to have. You used to just take the nightly news and Tom Brokaw and everybody just at face value.
People would actually listen to you and believe you.
Yeah, that's fact.
That's right.
So now you've got the other side of the argument. So with all the crazies, you also have some information you didn't have access to before, which can, shake up your worldview. Yeah.
It's scary. I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
And scary.
Yeah, that's what we're about.
I know.
Well, listen, we're going to do another great
and scary.
Thanks a lot. After she said she'd abduct me, we're gonna come back soon with another podcast. Hopefully, get fat on
done
here.
Already?
Oh yeah, we're done. We're off to we're gonna ease into this like an old man into a hot bath. That's what we're gonna do.
Man, you're old.
I know.
How's an old man get into a bath? Slow and steady. Wins the race.
Yeah. So we're going to tell people to be looking for more episodes.
How do you find us?
You can search for Into the Light with Ryan and Michele on YouTube.
Yep.
Or on SoundCloud. Or look it up on Facebook. It's going to be on Facebook. But we're going to keep posting to YouTube to our main channel, Into the Light with Ryan and Michele. So subscribe to that.
I got to get a hat. So
that's why this is my thinking cap.
I know. So
yeah, we're going to try out some different camera angles. This one's creepy. It's almost like a security camera.
Is it like scanning us?
Yeah, they're watching us and they're watching you.
They're watching me right now. Hola. So I'm having a pretty good day. I'm for an old girl, but
yeah.
So I always love talking to you, and I'm excited about. We'll have to make sure that we just add a little bit of time for the man versus woman.
Oh.
Yeah, we have to at the end of at least one male versus female.
We will. And we're going to have some guests on. I'm thinking we should take some field trips too. If any interesting locations pop up that we want to talk about, or they're freaky or they're haunted, we should go check them out.
The other thing we want is for our listeners, viewers, whatever you're doing with us, as seen on TV or product.
Oh, yeah. You want us to test it out? We'll test it out.
We want to do some testing.
We'll tell you if it's good
products.
or if it's a hoax.
One of the best things I ever bought, I'll do a quick product testing. I bought Windsor, WINDSOR Pilates one night when I was feeling extremely fat.
You were watching late night television and you were
2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Yeah.
On comes the Windsor Pilates lady. She's from California.
She's fit.
And she's fit. Yeah. She's no girl, but it looked really easy. And I'm thinking, whoo, I can do this. I did it. So then you have the money invested, right?
Right. Now you got to do it. It comes.
Best videos I've ever
Was
bought.
it really?
I lost, I want to say it was like 40 something pounds. And I was the skinniest. I'll show you. You've seen the blonde, big busted picture of me, skinny blonde.
I don't know.
That was the Windsor Pilates days.
Wow. Shout out to Windsor Pilates. I feel like they owe you a sponsor for that little.
I know, right? So now I need to get my fat back on the ground, because you can YouTube her training sessions now. I don't even have to buy it.
No, you just go on YouTube, just like us.
Just like us.
Into the Light with Ryan and Michele. New episode coming soon. Subscribe, click the bell for notifications. We'll talk to you real soon.